The paradox of creative destruction. Embracing the collapse to ignite innovation and growth in the realm of business. Growth is often seen as a linear pursuit, a constant upward trajectory of progress, profits, and expansion. But the deeper truth, the one we often resist, is that real growth is cyclical. It involves not just creation but destruction, not just innovation but the collapse of what once was. This is the paradox of creative destruction, the understanding that, for new ideas and innovation to take root, the old systems must fall away. Coined by the economist Joseph Schumpeter, creative destruction describes the process by which industries are revolutionized by new technologies, ideas, and business models, often at the expense of existing systems. But this concept extends far beyond economics. It mirrors a profound universal principle, one that echoes throughout nature, history, and even spirituality. Embracing creative destruction means acknowledging that collapse is not failure. It is a necessary prelude to innovation, renewal, and evolution. If we look to nature, we find that destruction is not an aberration, but an essential part of the life cycle. Forests must burn to allow new ecosystems to emerge. Old growth is cleared away, and from the ashes, new life takes root. The phoenix of mythology captures this same essence, reborn from its own ashes, more vibrant than before. In the same way, businesses, industries, and even entire economies follow this rhythm of destruction and renewal. Creative destruction in business operates on this same principle. The collapse of one industry or the obsolescence of a once dominant technology is not the end of progress. It is the clearing of space for something new. Consider the way the rise of digital photography upended the film industry, or how the emergence of streaming services dismantled the traditional media landscape. On the surface, these disruptions caused significant loss and upheaval, but they also unleashed unprecedented creativity and opportunity. Innovation and growth thrive in the aftermath of destruction because freedom is born from the collapse of old constraints. The rigid frameworks that once defined industries fall away, leaving room for fresh perspectives and new possibilities. The great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." In business, the same applies to the systems we create. What breaks, evolves. For many business leaders, the idea of embracing destruction is deeply uncomfortable. We are hardwired to seek stability, to protect what we have built, and to resist change that threatens the status quo. But the paradox of creative destruction requires us to let go of what no longer serves us, even when it feels like a loss. Psychologically, this process mirrors the concept of cognitive dissonance, the tension between holding onto outdated beliefs and adapting to new realities. When we cling to old systems out of fear or habit, we block the flow of innovation. But when we embrace the process of destruction, we open ourselves to a world of new possibilities. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist, taught that, "What you resist, persists." In business, resisting the inevitable shifts and collapses only delays the growth that follows. Understanding this requires a shift in mindset, a move from viewing destruction as loss to seeing it as an opportunity. The dissolution of old systems allows for reinvention, and reinvention is the lifeblood of sustainable success. The best companies understand this, and they innovate not in spite of destruction, but because of it. They know that the fall of one structure is merely the foundation for the next. History is filled with examples of creative destruction, where the collapse of old systems paved the way for unprecedented growth and innovation. The Industrial Revolution itself was an era defined by this process. The rise of mechanized production rendered countless traditional crafts and manual labor practices obsolete. Entire industries crumbled under the weight of technological advancement. And yet, from that destruction emerged a new economy, one characterized by mass production, global trade, and the birth of modern capitalism. More recently, the rise of the internet has been one of the most powerful forces of creative destruction in history. Brick-and-mortar retail giants were decimated as e-commerce platforms like Amazon revolutionized the way people shop. The collapse of traditional media companies, overwhelmed by the digital revolution, cleared the path for new, agile content creators to thrive on platforms like YouTube and Instagram. These shifts were painful for many businesses, but they also unlocked the potential for innovation that has transformed industries and created entirely new ones. The lesson from these examples is clear. When old systems collapse, They create the fertile ground for new ideas to flourish. Steve Jobs understood this principle deeply, once saying, "Innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat." This is the heart of the paradox. What feels like an ending is, in truth, the beginning of something far greater. On a deeper level, the paradox of creative destruction reflects a spiritual truth. The process of destruction and renewal is part of the universal order. Many spiritual traditions teach that transformation requires the dissolution of the old. In Buddhism, the principle of impermanence reminds us that all things are in a constant state of flux, and clinging to what is impermanent only brings suffering. True growth requires the willingness to let go. This mirrors the concept of alchemy, the ancient practice of transforming base materials into gold. Alchemists understood that before something can be transmuted into its higher form, it must be broken down, purified, and refined. The process of destruction, in this sense, is not an end but a purification, a clearing of what no longer serves, so that the highest potential can emerge. In business, this alchemical process is at play whenever an industry undergoes disruption. When outdated practices, products, or models fall away, they are often replaced by something more refined, more aligned with the needs and desires of the marketplace. The companies that embrace this process become the alchemists of their industries, turning the collapse of the old into the gold of innovation. Embracing the paradox of creative destruction does not mean recklessly tearing down systems for the sake of innovation. It requires a balance of integrity and vision. Leaders who navigate this process successfully are those who remain committed to their core values, even as they let go of old structures. They recognize that while systems may collapse, the principles that guide their business, trust, authenticity, and purpose, remain. Navigating creative destruction with integrity means making thoughtful decisions about what to preserve and what to transform. It means staying true to the mission while being open to new methods of execution. The businesses that successfully ride the waves of creative destruction are those that anchor themselves in integrity, even as they adapt to changing circumstances. According to a report by McKinsey, businesses that prioritize innovation while maintaining a strong foundation of ethical leadership see long-term growth rates that are 20–30% higher than their competitors. This data underscores the power of combining innovation with integrity, of embracing the collapse of old systems while staying rooted in purpose. The paradox of creative destruction teaches us that in every collapse, there is an opportunity for renewal. In every disruption, there is the potential for innovation. What feels like the end of one era is merely the beginning of another. By embracing this paradox, leaders can cultivate the resilience and vision necessary to navigate the cycles of growth and decline that define every industry. Ultimately, the key to thriving in the midst of creative destruction is to view change not as a threat, but as an invitation. An invitation to innovate, to grow, and to build something new from the ashes of what once was. When we understand this, we not only survive the collapse of old systems, we emerge stronger, more creative, and more aligned with the future we are called to create.